So we're standing on the second floor at the Liberty Estate, and this may look on camera, and to some who have walked up here, as a really wide hallway that's gonna add a lot of space. In fact, you can see here that this has been chalked out, and we're gonna talk about this. Something that's really important is that framing layout, right? And you'll see this especially when the slab's poured to allow framing. This is where you really know if you read your undergrounds right. And what I mean by that is typically in a house from electrical and plumbing, you're laying out everything based on the plan set, you're pulling measurements on the stem wall, and then that allows you to line up your plumbing. So as you start snapping lines, we know quickly if everything was laid out correctly, or if we have to move plumbing or electrical because we missed that wall. This is where we spend a lot of time in pre-com. We layer drawings on Bluebeam to make sure our team's up to speed, and we know where everything's going on that first or second floor so they can be accounted for. Now, as you'll see here, again, it did work out. You can see that we have our tie-ins here that's gonna come into to this wall, and there's actually a separation here, so this hallway is not in fact as wide as you see here. It's actually gonna be right here, which is a normal width hallway. Again, these are secondary bedrooms for the kids. So as you come to these bedrooms, you don't need a ton of space. We're gonna have a lot of windows though, so you have a lot of natural light, so it doesn't feel enclosed, it feels more like a gallery. Going through design, it's really important to understand how you're gonna be living in the home and structure. Not only does square footage play a role, because livable square footage, air-conditioned space, you have to calculate that on how much square foot do you want to build for your personal home. But with that, how are you going to use the house? You know, out here we have this patio area that gives us a large cover patio, which really protects the main great room and kitchen and dining room from the sun. Well, with that, this is not an area that we would be out sitting, you know, for a seating area and use this space. So this is actually going to be metal framed here. All this area, we're going to be installing some stringers here. You're going to have copper roofing. So we're going to have copper roofing and our decking and roofing here, copper gutters. So that's going to protect us from all the water that's going to hit this area of the home. But also it's going to protect from anyone from walking on here. We don't have anyone that's going to be sitting on this part of the home. Part of it is we don't want kids, you know, teenagers jumping off into the swimming pool. So that was, you know, that's something we discussed and thought about to make sure that no one's taking a plunge, you know, from this balcony. But again, you can see here that everything's laid out again. We did a previous video on the Weyerhaeuser Timber Strand LSL studs, which you see here. That's gonna give us this really nice plumb straight wall. And as we enclose this structure, we're going to be flying these trusses in and working on the next steps, which is going to be Partel, partnering with them for the WRB, this weather resistance barrier that's going to wrap this entire structure and give us that protection from water.